Welcome to the RadioU podcast. Coming up, you won't believe what working from home could do for your health.
Also, the Monster Mash song is getting its own movie, but will it be a graveyard smash?
All that and more on the way next. Traffic in Mississippi on I-59 must have been bananas yesterday when a truck overturned carrying monkeys.
Uh-oh.
8772 RadioU. The monkeys did escape.
Oh, no.
And imagine sitting in traffic. You're just waiting in line there on I-59 in Mississippi, and you see the truck overturned, and out from the back, monkeys start to emerge.
That would be insane.
You would have to be like, okay, so they're shooting a movie here.
Right.
Like they're delaying this at rush hour for a movie. Monkeys crawling out of the back. But I don't know how many exactly there was, but several monkeys.
I think they said 5.
5 monkeys. To make matters worse, the Jasper County Sheriff's Department was posting warnings saying the monkeys were aggressive and carried disease.
Uh-oh.
So they should fit right in. But there's debates about that because here's the thing. Where the monkeys were coming from was Tulane University. And
I think that's where they were going.
Was it where they were going to?
Yeah.
And so either way, Tulane University, I guess if they were going to Tulane, how does Tulane even know this? But they said the primates do not belong to us and they do not have infectious diseases.
Yeah.
But if they didn't have them already, how do you know? How can you prove that?
I don't know if they could prove that or not, but apparently these monkeys were on their way to the National Biomedical Research Center, which is at Tulane.
Mm-hmm.
And these were donated by another, I guess, I don't know if it's research entity or another university. Somebody else donated these monkeys to Tulane.
Mm.
And they were on their way there. But yeah, I guess they have some type of information that made them believe that these are disease-free monkeys. But initial reports were freaking people out because they said they had like COVID-19, hepatitis C, all sorts of different stuff.
And these are rhesus monkeys, which are like they can survive in the wild. They live in Florida.
Yeah.
And hepatitis is a concern and herpes is a concern with these monkeys. So it wouldn't be out of the question for that to be an issue. I guess if I was Tulane University today, I'd be thoroughly upset because now my monkeys have been destroyed. Either they escaped or they were destroyed. They were escaped, and reports say that all but one of the monkeys had the word they used is destroyed, which is a wild word to use.
I know. What an insane word to use. They were shot. Mm-hmm. They were shot. And so, yeah, but I will say only 5 of the monkeys got out of the truck. The rest remained in the truck. They did not get free.
How many monkeys is that?
I don't know. But
I'd still be Tulane. I'd be like, you owe me 5 monkeys.
Yeah.
Why were you shooting my monkeys? I needed to research those things.
Well, if the police thought that they had hepatitis C and herpes, I'm totally on board with the police shooting them.
But then the Tulane said they don't. So I'd be like, why are you shooting my perfectly fine, healthy monkeys?
Well, if they thought that they were not perfectly fine and healthy, I think they were within their, due diligence to probably take them out.
It's Harambe all over again. The concern is now that there was 5 that escaped.
Yeah.
1 has not been caught.
One's
has
at
not been
large.
destroyed. And he probably knows that his friends were destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably mad.
He's planning.
And his name happens to be Caesar.
Oh!
And this is the beginning. And we asked for this with our actions.
Isn't Caesar, is he a chimpanzee?
Yes.
Okay.
He is a chimpanzee.
Okay.
But eventually all the primates wind up kind of banding together. There's like orangutans and stuff as you go through the movies.
Yeah.
So either way, I don't like the parallels. And this is what we asked for by our actions.
Oh, we asked for this?
We asked for this.
How so?
We shot monkeys. First Harambe, now this.
We didn't shoot monkeys.
We asked for this. Whatever is coming, we deserve. So I don't know if this is going to be a new segment, but I don't know. It's a question I wanted to ask today. I could see it coming up in the future. Was this guy awesome?
Which guy?
Let me tell you about this guy. I was driving home yesterday. I was in a area where there's a 2-lane road and then a median and then 2 lanes going the other way.
Okay.
So 2 lanes, right?
Yeah.
One of them about to be, you're pulling up. The right lane is going to be closed due to construction. So everybody's got to get all over to the left lane.
Ah, I hate that.
And what happens when you get in this scenario? There's always people that want to zoom
Rush
up
ahead.
the right lane. Right until the road literally ends. It's
Yeah.
blocked up by cones, and then they want to slide in ahead of everybody.
Yep.
Horrible.
Terrible.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody do this before. The car directly in front of me is a truck. After a line of cars zooms ahead of us in the right lane to get over, to force their way ahead,
Yeah.
our guy ahead of us decides he's had enough. And so he starts straddling the 2 lanes
Ooh.
so that nobody can get ahead of him, but he doesn't lose his place in line. Was this guy awesome?
100% he was.
That's like the coolest guy I've ever seen.
I love that. I hate it when people do this because I do think all it does is it just bottlenecks.
Yeah.
And it causes everyone to slow down. Now, I will say I feel like I've been in this scenario before where there's been times where because I'm behind a big box truck or something, I can't see ahead of me.
Yeah.
And so I don't know that the road is coming to an end. So I've found myself in that situation where I'm like begging somebody to let me in the line because I ended up at that point where it no longer goes. And so I do think there's probably more people than we realize that are just not paying attention. But there are also just people that are horrible. They think they're the most important people in the world, and they go to the front of the line and try and squeeze in and slow everybody else down.
And think about this. If you were just going ahead on your merry way, or if that box truck is going ahead on its merry way, and it knows full well, because it should be able to see, right? It's sitting up higher. But even if it can't, it's going to get to our guy, our awesome guy, who's going to be a little notification that's like,
Get
hey,
over.
you can't do it. You can't be doing this. And so it really kind of solves all problems. Now, it kind of sucks for the person, in me in this case, that was right behind this guy of like, do I let the next person in? Like once people start coming up behind him. So, and where's the right, how far ahead of when you have to get over? Is it okay to start giving people the what for?
Yeah.
By getting in the middle lane and being like, you can't be shaking ahead here.
Right.
I don't know why that was the verb I used. But
Shaking ahead.
Shaking ahead. You can't be shaking ahead here. But I thought that was a awesome move by that guy, and I wish I had thought of it.
Yeah, no, that definitely is a great move. He's helping us all out that are stuck in that line and just rolling our eyes as we see these people blow ahead.
It was inspirational. I know what I'm doing the next time I come into that situation. And somebody will be thinking about me, that guy is awesome.
Yeah.
And so if that was you yesterday, shout out to you, because that was a cool move, and you brightened my day.
Yeah, you've changed lives. I wonder where he saw that first. Maybe he saw that somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know.
And he was like, now I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And it's been a trickle-down effect.
It's like the Starbucks paying in line thing.
Yeah, it just keeps going.
Keeps brightening days, but also probably frustrating one person every time that gets to the front. And they're like, why can't I squeeze ahead? One song that probably would have won the Battle of the Buzz if the Battle of the Buzz was around when this song came out is the Monster Mash. 8772 Radio U. And the Monster Mash, after over 60 years, is finally getting its own movie.
Yeah, it's getting an animated movie, but also, you say it probably would have won the Battle of the Buzz 60 years ago when it first came out. It might not have. It was not a hit when it came out. It's really because of TikTok over the last, 5 years or so that this song has blown up.
It's come back around. It is a classic. It would have deserved to win. The Battle of the Buzz.
It's a fun song.
Yeah. But it is interesting what they're going to do with the Monster Mash, turning it into a movie, because the Monster Mash, it's one of those weird songs where it's a song about a song, but you never actually hear the song.
Right.
You just hear the Monster Mash.
Right.
but it's about how somebody else wrote a song called The Monster Mash. So is the movie going to be about writing a song called The Monster Mash, or is the movie going to be about writing a song that is The Monster Mash that's about writing a song? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, what's the inception going on here?
Exactly.
I'm not sure, but I'm interested. I'm intrigued to see, because if you read the lyrics of Monster Mash, you know, it starts off with like, I was working in the lab late one night, and then, you know, his creation began to rise. So it's kind of like a Frankenstein type of story where it's like some evil, crazy scientific doctor is, you know, maybe coming up with some monster, and then this monster comes to life and ends up doing a popular dance.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, the expectations subverted for sure. But yeah, I'm interested to see if it's going, like they say, a musical, so they have to be coming up with other songs for it.
They're going to have, well, there are other versions of the Monster Mash.
Yeah.
If you ever want to look those up.
Okay.
Not nearly as good. I believe there's a Christmas version as well, so.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that.
Yeah, but there's the soil is ripe and ready to be harvested.
Oh, absolutely.
With ideas for the Monster Mash movie. The other important detail of the Monster Mash, though, is that apparently the Monster Mash was stolen from Dracula, but then he's just like cool with it.
Interesting. I was going to say they mention Dracula several times throughout the song. They say Dracula, they say Drac. They mentioned the Wolfman. They mentioned zombies. So there's all sorts of monsters that could show up in this movie.
But then do they have the rights to Dracula and the Wolfman?
Probably not.
Because those are universal. This is Miramax. What does that count as?
I don't know.
What is Miramax might be Universal, so maybe that's why they're doing this.
Is Miramax owned by Universal? I don't know.
I don't have the answers to this, but they'll figure it out. Okay, last question then. What are the odds? Obviously, this is going to be coming out around Halloween in the future. It's well in the future. What are the odds that this movie is actually any good at all?
I'd say I'll be generous. I'll give it a 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
I want it to be good because I like the Monster Mash.
Me too.
And it'd be fun to have a fun Halloween movie, even if it is an animated musical for children.
Right.
But it's giving Emoji Movie.
It is giving that, but I will say, I think reading the lyrics more and more, it's like a mashup of all of the things we love about Halloween, all the Halloween stories.
That's probably why we love the song.
Yeah.
We're all even in the World Series, 8772 Radio U. The Blue Jays bounced back last night after the crushing 18-inning defeat in Game 3 of the World Series 2 nights ago. Last night, the Blue Jays got a 6-2 win over the Dodgers. And so we're back in business, baby.
Yeah, we're back to even. We got one more game in LA, and then it goes back to Toronto. So that at least guarantees you get to take the series back home.
Yeah, so I feel like you got to be feeling good with if you're the Blue Jays. And like a really impressive victory last night.
Yeah.
They do it without George Springer, who's been one of their top, like at least 2 hitters between him and Vlad Guerrero Jr. in the playoffs so far. And he was injured, so he was out for the game, and they still managed to belt 6 runs through. Vlad Guerrero Jr. did hit a home run, so Shohei Ohtani is going to be the favorite for the MVP, but if the Blue Jays win, it feels like it's got to go to Guerrero.
Right. I was going to say, you can't give it to somebody on the losing team. I would much, prefer to see Guerrero get it, even if his stats aren't as good as Shohei's.
Well, Shohei did not have a good night last night. On the mound, he was okay as he was pitching. He did allow 4 earned runs, obviously that home run to Vladdy Guerrero that gave the Blue Jays the lead. He also, though, at the plate did not get a hit. He was only walked once. He struck out twice.
Yeah.
Held hitless. That's huge.
That's pretty good. That's what you got to do. If you want to beat these Dodgers, you got to stop Shohei. You can't let Shohei beat you, No,
yeah, definitely not. So now the Blue Jays, I don't know if they have the advantage. There's 3 games left. 2 are in Toronto, and everything's even. So
yeah, but
a race to 2 wins, and you get 2 on your own in your own home crowd.
I think I'd still consider this even. I don't know if I would go ahead and say somebody has the advantage just yet, because both squads have shown you they can win on the other team's turf.
Yeah.
And so I think for the most part it's pretty even, which I like. I like that this series is even. I like that it's not like, oh yeah, it's just the Dodgers and it's inevitable and whatnot, because I was worried it was going to be that. But no, we are seeing a very evenly matched World Series between both of these squads, and I'm excited to see it come down to the wire because I think that's what's going to happen. I think this is going to 7.
By the way, tonight we get Game 5, which is Trey Savage back on the mound for the Blue Jays, going up against Blake Snell. So, again, the Blue Jays really got to Blake Snell in Game 1.
Yeah.
It's a game where they put up 16 runs, right? So, I feel like I'm feeling real good as a Blue Jays backer. I think the World Series, the trophy, the hunk of metal, as Rob Manfred calls it, is coming to Canada.
Stupid Rob Manfred.
A new study has been done. This took 4 years at the University of the Obvious. No, I'm sorry, the University of South Australia, where they found that people that work from home are happier. Can you believe that?
Shocking.
8772 Radio U. They also found that people that work from home healthier.
Oh.
Can you believe that?
That one's a little more like, okay.
Yeah.
You know?
And I know what everyone's thinking. You're thinking, well, yeah, of course they're happier because they're not actually working. I know what you're thinking because it says the people that worked from home had more time to eat fresh food and cook more often.
Yeah, which
because
means they're
they
not
weren't working. But what they found was that remote workers were also just as productive as those who actually worked in the office.
Well, I do feel like for a lot of people, and this isn't for everyone, but I do feel like for certain office jobs, there's a kind of an amount of things you get done in a day that actually don't take as much time as like an 8-hour work day.
Yeah.
You can get them done in maybe like 5 hours or maybe even half that, 4 hours, you can get it done. And so I do feel like there is something to that where it's like you're more productive, you're getting the same amount of work done.
Yeah.
And it doesn't actually take as much time as an 8-hour work day.
I think you're totally right on that. The idea is that if you work from home, you're wasting time because you're doing other stuff that's not actually work while you're on the clock.
Yeah.
You do that at real work too.
Right.
It's just different stuff.
Yep.
It's just instead of cooking, you're staring off into space.
Right.
Or you're taking an extra 5 minutes in the bathroom or whatever it is just to like mentally give yourself the space you need so that you don't just completely fry yourself out. And some people still get fried out.
Right.
But I think that's the answer. But if you can work from home, get the same amount of stuff done, be happier, healthier, and not have to waste your time commuting, which would make you happier and just feel like you would get better work done.
Yep.
That is, I mean, there's a lot of good arguments for why the option should be there or shouldn't just be completely shut off.
Yeah.
Because it seems like you're getting more work when you're actually in the office.
Yeah, I completely agree. I do think that there's evidence to show that that's true. And I agree with you. I think the commute part needs to be taken into consideration because I think commutes, especially if you live in a big city, they are just a mood killer.
Yeah.
They just kill your spirit because, if you have had, let's say you've had a good work day, you got a lot done, you felt very productive. Now you have to go sit in traffic for an hour.
Right.
And you're not moving very fast. All that productivity that you felt before, that gets sucked out of you when you sit in traffic like that.
The flip side is when you have to commute into work, you sleep in as late as you can and then rush to get everything, to get ready for your day.
Yep.
And then have to sit in traffic, which can just drive you insane. And by the time you're already at work, you're already upset. You're already in a bad mood. And you're not set up for success.
No.
Whereas if you work from home, you're able to leisurely get started, kind of get a better night of rest. At least at sometimes, I'm sure once you get used to being able to sleep in, you start staying up later.
You get used to that.
But you can kind of leisurely get your day started, enjoy your cup of coffee, have a nice breakfast, and just kind of chill before you have to dive into work mode. And I think you're probably in a better mindset a lot of the time.
Yeah. This is all reasons why work from home should be more common.
It really, it seemed like a lot of companies could not wait to shut down work from home.
Yeah.
When it turns out, after COVID, when it turns out that like it really wasn't that bad after all.
Yeah. I will say, I know personally when COVID like stopped us from being able to like have an office environment and talk with one another, I did miss that aspect of like having work relationships and just community with people and coworkers and whatnot. And so I do think I would still like to have that. And our job, obviously, we have to be in person.
Yeah.
But I do think the evidence
I don't know
shows.
if that is obvious.
Oh, is it not?
I think we could do the show from home and nobody would know.
But I do think the appeal is that, you know, being in the same room, there's something different about that. Being in the same room while on the air together.
How many podcasts do you listen to?
A few.
And what percentage of them are people that are not in the same room at the same time?
I'd say most of the sports podcasts I listen to are people that are remote from one another.
And it's totally fine.
It is. But
I think that we could hybrid this thing and we would be better.
I don't know if I agree with that.
We'd be able to sleep in later before we did the show. And so just by that fact alone.
I do like the sleep idea.
Yeah. We got to do 3 days on, 3 days in, 2 days out. And our show would be, we take over the world.
Oh, yeah?
The most insane soccer stadium in the world is about to be built in Saudi Arabia. 8772 RadioU. Saudi Arabia is hosting the 2034 World Cup. And so they're making plans for that. And one of their ideas is what they call the world's first Sky Stadium.
Oh, boy.
This is a soccer stadium that would be 1,150 feet above the ground.
Whew.
For reference, that's about 100 feet shorter, so not all that much shorter than the Empire State Building.
Yeah, so picture a big bowl on top of a skyscraper.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here.
And now they do have a rendering of what they imagine it looking like, what they plan for it to look like. Here's what's confusing to me, because it's Saudi Arabia, it's going to be hot, right? That was a problem at the Qatar Olympic or World Cup as well.
Right.
I would have thought maybe you're building this up at the top of a thing anyways. You might make it a domed stadium. It's not enclosed, but there is like a roof over top of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what is that roof actually for?
Right.
Is it because it's massive. It almost looks like it would be for like helicopters, to land up there.
It kind of does look like a helipad.
I do not know. I don't know all the details of what they're designing for this, but I mean, it's a full-size stadium on top of a full-size skyscraper.
It's just insane looking. Obviously, it's just a rendering. We don't know what it'll actually end up looking like. But I mean, if any country hosting, like, let's say the Olympics or the World Cup could do something like this, it's Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, they got the money to spend over there.
They do.
So, for the most part, I usually feel like for these countries that are hosting the Olympics or hosting the World Cup, I'm like, it's such a waste for them to spend all this money on these stadiums that will end up being deserted after these games are done being played. And then, they're never really used after that. But I feel like for Saudi Arabia, they've got all this money. They might as well spend it on something like this.
They won't even notice.
Yeah.
You know
They'll
what
be
I
like,
mean?
it's just drop in the bucket for us.
Yeah, but you do bring up a good point that it's often a concern for countries that host the Olympics or the World Cup that they build all this infrastructure and all these stadiums and stuff that after you host it doesn't really have much of a use.
Yeah, it doesn't get used.
And in this case, this would be like a tour, like you would want to have other big events here. What other events are big enough that even makes sense that wouldn't feel ridiculous being held in a stadium like this?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like this couldn't be a regular soccer team there's home stadium. That would feel so odd, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would absolutely feel very strange. It feel almost like you're in an anime or something.
Yeah.
Like it's not real. So yeah, I don't know what other events it could host. I don't really know any big concert festivals that are looking to go to Saudi Arabia. So this would be a potential one and done situation.
Well, it's probably only a matter of time till the NFL starts doing games in Saudi Arabia. They've already gone to most of Europe. They've gone to Brazil. So Saudi Arabia is probably not long down that list.
And again, they have the money.
And imagine Imagine the Super Bowl being held in the skyscraper stadium.
No, the Super Bowl needs to be on U.S. soil.
I think we say that now, but it's inevitable. It's a matter of time. This isn't going to be ready till 2032. The Olympics or the World Cup is in 2034. By 2040, we're having a Saudi Arabia skyscraper Super Bowl. It's going to happen.
I hate that.
Lego, it can do anything. Even help children reduce anxiety about getting an MRI.
Oh, can it?
Yeah, according to new research that, yes, was funded by Lego, but I don't think that reduces its believability at all. Lego has found, according to healthcare professionals, 96% say that the MRI Lego set has reduced anxiety of children that have to get MRIs.
Interesting.
I didn't even know they had an MRI Lego set.
I know. I'm looking at it right now. It looks pretty, I mean, it's accurate, I guess, for what you would experience. But yeah, it looks pretty wild.
But I don't know if this is something you would just buy or if this is just
Right.
like Lego donates this to doctors.
Can you
and lets
imagine?
kids play with it before, like at the doctor's office before they have to get the MRI. I don't know.
I would think that's probably more likely. But yeah, can
It
you
would be-
imagine your kid at the Lego store being like, Mom, I don't want the dragon. I don't want the cool
Harry Potter.
Yeah, I don't want the Spider-Man thing. I want the MRI set. Like, what? What's wrong with your child?
Yeah, that child's gonna grow up to be a doctor.
Yeah.
A surgeon, probably.
What I want to know though is if you've ever gotten an MRI, as far as I can tell, I've never got one before. The thing that usually scares people more is the noise it makes. It's apparently very, very loud, and that can be, quite alarming, and just, especially for kids, that can be pretty scary. So does it mimic the sound at all?
I don't know I don't see anything about that. They do specifically mention claustrophobia.
Yeah.
And how, and like in an MRI, you have to be really still,
You have to be completely still, and that's what throws people off is they have to be completely still when they're hearing this sound that makes you think you should be getting away from this sound, like far, far away.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess once the doctors coach you and then they're like, look, it's just going to look like this little Lego set that you just built.
Yeah.
And you put the little yellow man into.
That's going to be
That's going to be you, and it's going to be totally fine. And I guess apparently it's working. It's doing
helping.
wonders. So now the next question. What other Lego sets do they need to make for other stressful situations?
Oh, for other stressful situations.
Yeah.
I was going to say definitely dentist, because I feel like lots of kids have fears of the dentist.
Gym class showers would probably be a good one.
They don't have those anymore, right? Like,
don't
are
know.
they forcing kids to actually take showers, like communal showers? I don't think they are.
I never went to school, so I don't know if they ever did. It's like the hall monitors. Like, has that ever been a thing, or
I don't
is that
know.
only on TV?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't go to school here in the U.S., so I'm not sure. But I do know, like, if you were ever playing a team sport and had to take a communal shower, not very fun.
Yeah. It might as well just make one.
Yeah.
Just make a Lego set. Eventually, it's going to come up.
With communal showers?
Yes. Eventually, it's going to come up.
I don't know if I like the implications of that Lego set.
It would help everybody be more comfortable, and I think that's good.
I don't know. But let me see. Is there anything else I could think of that would be a stressful situation? Oh, how about like your driver's test?
Yeah.
Your driver's exam.
We need a Lego driver's test.
To diagram it out.
I was thinking this probably already exists, but airplanes. Some people are really afraid of airplanes.
Yes.
So that might be a good one.
Yeah, they definitely already have some airplane ones, but that is a good one.
I think Lego could really help.
Yeah, it helps you calm down. If you're controlling the situation when you're building the little Lego thing. So it helps you feel like you're in control when you're actually experiencing it. It's not a terrible idea.
The only thing preventing you from being comfortable in any situation is that you can't afford the Lego set that you need.
Right. Instead of there's a blog for that, you can now say there's a Lego set for that.
The RadioU hotline is open.
877-2-RADIO-U.
Asking what is the best snack to get at the airport or to have at the airport to tide you over, like I said, until you get somewhere you can actually afford food. Allie, why don't you read off the text?
Okay.
And I'll tell you if they made the top 10
Okay.
on this list.
We heard from Julie this morning. She gave us two options.
Okay.
M&Ms, and crackers.
M&Ms and crackers, neither, I'm not going to give it a wrong because it's your choice.
Yeah.
Drew, but that's neither one was in the top 10.
Really?
Of
M&Ms
airport snacks.
surprises me. I feel like that would be a really easy one to be in the top 10.
I feel like usually around this time of year we get the top Halloween candies, and for some reason M&Ms, just plain M&Ms, is always at the top. And I guess that's just easy to give to people.
Yeah.
And they're okay. Like, nobody hates M&Ms, but they're also not the best.
I love M&Ms. Dark chocolate M&Ms,
But
can't
see,
say no.
You just, not even the plain M&Ms is the thing.
Yeah, well,
it's got to be special.
Plain M&Ms I think are good too, but I think M&Ms overall, you're concluding, including all of the different types. We heard from Lindsay. She says, any kind of nuts.
Any kind of nuts. I do not see nuts in the top 10.
Okay. We heard from Shrew. He said protein bar.
Protein bar, definitely not in the top 10. But
Okay.
I feel like that just says a lot about Shrew. Sounds like he's in shape.
Again, these are personal choices.
Yeah.
We heard from Sarah. She said cherry pull and peel Twizzlers.
All right.
That's on there?
Who was that?
Sarah.
That's a little more specific. They just have Twizzlers. Twizzlers was number 5, the number 5 most popular airport snack.
A great snack, not messy. She also gave us Little Debbie fudge brownies with walnuts.
Not on the list.
And she said, but you can't buy those anymore.
No, they're gone.
I didn't know those were gone. But yeah, the Twizzlers, I feel like a great snack for road trips, for airports, because they're not messy.
Not messy at all. They don't smell really.
Yep.
So you're not going to bother anybody else. And yeah, they don't need refrigeration or anything. Yeah, Twizzlers are great.
Yeah. We heard from Marcus. He said Reese's Pieces. And he just said pretty much some sort of candy bar. And he also said Pringles.
None of those on the list of the top 10 airport snacks.
Wow.
Yeah. So let me explain the methodology here. This was a company that used keyword search volume across the United States to figure out what people were searching for, plus like airport or whatever, so like airport Oreos.
What? I don't like how this research was done.
Why? How else would you do it?
I would
just
do it based
survey
off
people,
no,
like the way we're doing it?
No, I would do it based off of what actually sold in an airport. Like, let's take the Atlanta airport, which is massive. Let's see what their top snack sellers are.
That would be a good way to do it.
Those little ones, like in the smaller canister. Those are always in the airport shops.
Yeah. No, that'd be a good way to do it. That's not what I have. This is what people are searching for when they're at the airport. This is what they're thinking about. They're thinking about number 10. We'll count our way up. Gummy bears.
Okay.
Haribo gummy bears.
I could see that.
Number 9, Cool Ranch Doritos. 8, Welch's fruit snacks.
Okay.
Now, I did say that this is more like snacks than like something you would get at a restaurant.
Yeah.
But Dunkin' Donuts was number 7. And there's always seems to be a Dunkin' Donuts at an airport to me.
Yeah, I think you have a good bet of at least having like a Dunkin' or a Starbucks. There's going to be coffee places.
There's coffee. And like if you're at an airport, most restaurants, I think, that are in an airport, like part of the rule is you have to be open for breakfast.
Yeah.
For a lot of them. And obviously Dunkin' Donuts already is open for breakfast.
Right.
And you just know what you're getting into there versus if you go to Donato's Pizza for breakfast or Arby's I've seen. And it's just like, what do they have? I'm adventurous, so I try that, but not everybody's the same way.
I was just in the Atlanta airport, and TGI Fridays was open for breakfast.
I can't believe TGI Fridays was open, period.
I know. They had multiple TGI Fridays in the Atlanta airport.
Number 6 in the most popular airport snacks was Sour Patch Kids, which was surprising to me. Then Twizzlers at 5. Flamin' Hot Cheetos, number 4.
Okay.
Cheeto Puffs, number 3. You have to have Cheetos near the top of the list. Jack Link's, number 2.
All right.
And the most popular airport snack, according to searches, is Oreos.
Yeah. I mean, they're just a popular snack in general. I was going to go with beef jerky because I feel like for me, no matter what trip I'm on, whether it's a road trip or an airport trip, beef jerky is what I want.
It feels like a treat because that's something you can't just justify purchasing all the time because it's pretty expensive.
So expensive.
So I'm with you on that. But when I think of an airport, I usually think of snacking on Auntie Anne's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I always wind up.
I feel like those are the only two places you can get it. The mall or the airport.
Some Walmarts. But that's kind of weird at the end of your Walmart trip to stop at Auntie Anne's. But then again, it's never weird to stop at Auntie Anne's because it's so good.
It's so good.
Is there any car you will not park beside? 8772 Radio U. Let me know. Allie, is there any car you could see in a parking lot beside an open space and you're like, I am not taking that space because I don't want to be next to this car?
When there is a big truck that's like they've got the wheels raised and they are just so obnoxiously high.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah. I will try to avoid parking next to those because especially if you have to try and back out of the spot, sometimes you can't see.
Yeah, their tailgate or the top of it can just
too
really
long or it's too high.
Stick on out.
Yeah, and so I will try to avoid parking next to a big truck. And also sometimes those big trucks they just need more space. And so like the spot's kind of too small for them. And so if you park next to them, you're going to be really close to them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's a good point. I find myself avoiding parking like behind. If there's two parking spots and the truck is either backed in or pulled through to where the back of the truck is sticking into the parking space that's open.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to do that.
Behind it.
I'm like, I feel like it's taking up the space for me. So that's a good point. But that's it. That's the list for you.
I think that's mainly the list for me. I don't think I pay super close attention to other type of cars. I usually, for parking preferences, I usually try and find a way I can pull through. Yeah. Because I like to just be able to go.
Yep, me too.
But I think for the most part, if I'm actually like, oh, you know what, I don't want to park in that spot, even though it'd be more convenient for me to be in that spot, it'll be because there's a truck there.
This debate has come up. It's gotten big on TikTok because of one car guy in particular who says that he refuses to park beside any car that is either, and what he, in his words, crappy or visibly neglected.
Oh.
The thought being that if you see a car and it doesn't look like the person who owns the car takes care of their car, they're not going to take care of the cars around them either.
Yes.
Ipso facto, you have a nice car, you park beside a crappy car. When that person comes back to their car, they're just going to swing the door right open into yours probably.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Which I can see that. It also feels like you're being extra careful because you really want to take care of yours. But
if you have a nice car and you've spent a lot of money on it and maintaining it and a lot of money purchasing it, I understand being extra cautious.
Yeah, but you know what that means?
What?
It means that he's not parking next to my Jeep.
Oh, yeah?
I feel that, well, it's true. Like, I think you can tell a lot about somebody by how their car looks from the outside and definitely how it looks from the inside.
Yeah.
There are people like me that have gotten into a fender bender years ago where it was like only aesthetic damage to the vehicle.
Yeah.
But that aesthetic damage is expensive to fix.
It is.
And if it's not affecting anything, I'm not going to put up all that money to fix it. And so that like my Jeep has one notable rusty dent on it that might make some say, oh, you don't take care of your car. And it's like, no, I just can't. I don't think it's worthwhile to fix that.
Yeah.
And but if that means you don't want to park next to me, so be it.
Yeah.
More space for me.
And also, if someone's judging the out of my car, like the outside of my car, I have to say, because I live in an apartment and have for the past few years, if you don't know this, apartment parking is really small.
Yeah.
And usually not the safest as far as like making sure your car doesn't get dinged up. I've got so many scratches on my doors because of people like what he's referring to, swinging their car door open and just hitting your car door. I've got so many just from the past couple of years of having to live in an apartment and park next to people that don't care about that or just, are not paying attention.
Yeah. And you just don't, it's an apartment. You don't have much of a choice.
You don't have much of a choice. And that's completely out of my control. So don't judge my car appearance because of somebody else's actions.
Yeah. Well, I think they are. I think they're like, you get a ding in your door from somebody else, you can't be bothered to fix it. And it's like, that's what you're trying to avoid by not parking next to me.
Right.
Which, by the way, doesn't mean that somebody else can't park next to you after you go in wherever you're going.
True.
And just ding up your door. So you just never know. You can't be, you can never eliminate all of that.
No.
We are doing Would You Rather Wednesday. The question is, would you rather spend one night in a mall with one gorilla or 100 snakes, which may or may not be venomous? Lots of good texts coming in with people sharing their thoughts. We can start with Jim, who says, I think it would be easier to hide from one gorilla in a mall.
Okay. All right. Heard from Nathan. He says, this is a no-brainer. If you come face-to-face with an angry gorilla, you're going to die. If you come face-to-face with a snake, you most likely are going to survive. Depends on how poisonous the snake is.
Yeah, it definitely does. It definitely does. And how angry the gorilla is.
Yeah.
Like, is it a nice gorilla? Is it Harambe or is it like an angry gorilla?
Yeah, I don't know. All gorillas might be angry if they end up in a mall. We heard from Max this morning. He just said snakes.
Okay. Simple. No reasoning given. No reasoning needed. And Jason says snakes. If the gorilla wanted to get you, it could follow you anywhere you could go and is many times stronger than you. Snakes have low tier agility.
We heard from Susanna. She says, a mall is huge, so I wouldn't mind either. Plus, I'd love to spend a night in a mall. But I'll say snakes, as those definitely won't charge at or outrun me.
Okay. Ali, I agree with Susanna. I think actually either of these options isn't so bad. Malls are pretty big. So you could probably make it through one night just minding your own business and probably I think you could be safe either way. But what's your choice, Ali?
I am going with the snakes. I grew up with lots and lots of snakes around, so I'm kind of more used to that. Mm-hmm. The area I grew up in, not a lot of gorillas around. That was more like the Democratic Republic of Congo, not really in Zambia. But yeah.
What about like baboons? Do you have baboons?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Oh, yeah. And they can be very aggressive.
Yeah.
And so I do think that the chances of surviving 100 snakes in a mall, very high. A mall is huge, and snakes are not going to seek you out. Gorillas might be more likely to seek you out just because they might smell you or they might, view you as a threat or something. And so I just think the threat increases with a gorilla, whereas snakes, you might not even see them. 100 in a mall, you might not even notice any snakes around.
I'm thinking I think the answer is definitely snakes now that I've thought about it more, because I'm thinking about like when you see snakes like at the zoo or whatever, or at, in a container, they're usually just circled up, laying still.
They're pretty chill.
So they're not going to move. And in one night, they're not going to move around a lot.
Yeah.
And you're right. They're not going to chase you. The one thing you'd have to worry about is if you're moving around, you would accidentally stumble upon one and it would see you before you saw it, type of thing.
Yeah.
Gorilla, I'm still thinking, I think you could make it through a night, especially like you think you lock yourself in the bathroom or something and you'd probably be okay for one evening. But like the gorilla could beat down that door if it really wanted to. I was going to say,
the gorilla can go anywhere it wants.
Yeah.
Nothing's stopping that gorilla. So I think just risk-wise.
You know what I'd probably do if a gorilla was chasing me?
What?
Get in the elevator, because I don't think it would be able to figure that out.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But it could hit some of those buttons just by chance.
Maybe. Or like if I go up, it's going to take him a while to figure out to get up there. If I go down, then he could just jump right down.
I think you'd be
next level.
I think you'd be having a lot more stressful of a night if it was a gorilla versus a snake. I think the risk just increases with gorilla. The risk is not that high with snakes.
Landon says, snakes, I can run faster, and if there's any kind of hardware store where I can get a sharp object, I can pick a few of them off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's also, in a mall, too, you have a lot of weapons you could probably, like makeshift weapons to fight off either one.
I don't think I want to fight a gorilla off.
I think you can find something, though. Fight or flight.
But I don't want to, is what I'm saying. Thanks for listening to the RadioU podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.